Hello, it's 12:56 on the clock. I just started at 12:55 and I forgot to plug my mic in. So here we are. So with the 55 of the Ace of Swords and the 56 of the Two of Swords being your knowing and keeping your energy clear, perhaps being quiet to yourself, let's go ahead first and take a deep breath. Take another deep breath out to all limbs and extremities of your body. You might want to imagine a white light coming in through your crown, wrapping it around your heart, and then allowing the white light to diffuse out through your chest and your limbs and your head, out through your auric layers, your home, your neighborhood, and out as far as you want throughout the world. Let's go ahead and take one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for being here with me. So much to share. I have a couple messages of the day. I have a union and twin flame read as usual. I have a mini read as well. And a lot was coming up about Plum Island again. So if any of you can help me out with some downloads you may be getting, I'd really appreciate it. So I'll tell you what I have. All right, first I'm going to show you the pictures. I'm going to roll the die and we're going to get right into it. So here is the twin flame read, the union twin flame read. This is the 4D, 5D, and 6D, and you might be able to identify where your energy's been by which row resonates with you most, 4D, 5D, 6D. The left is the feminine, right's the masculine, the bridge between the middle. Incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine, and the underlying energies and closing energies. Here is the main read in front of you, the 7-deck read. They're both the Syrian Starseed deck. This is a different version than the Celtic Cross. It's more of an energy wave. And then we have, this is my mini read. I have 2 messages of the day. This is from it's not called the Rider-Waite because it's a laminated deck. I have to look it up. I meant to do that yesterday. But it is the Rider-Waite pictures. And then we have this is instead of the Lenormand Reverie today, I used the Kipper deck for this message. And then here's the full read that you see in front of you on the table. It's a 7-deck read. It's a lot of energy for the twin flames. If it doesn't resonate with you or if certain messages don't, please don't force it to fit your situation. It's for everyone. There's a lot of people out there. And it can bring up general energies of the world as well. So don't force it to fit. If you want something more specific, you can certainly reach out to me. My information's below, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. I have a CD out there also called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames, if you want to check it out, by Evelyn Stainthorpe. It's a great way to support me. It's only $1 for a song. And let's go ahead and get right into this read. All right, I'm going to first roll the die, and then we'll get into the messages of the day for the twin flames. Okay, we have, again, the Jupiter energy here. Jupiter, which is also Sagittarius. It's also very positive energies of expansion. We have the 12 of the Hangman, which is also the completion, the dozen, the Hangman, which is the Pisces or Capricorn energy. For me, I usually get Capricorn more from it. And here is Cancer energies, also the 69, which is the Ace of Pentacles, an offer of a new life, perhaps, of complete contentment, as the original definition goes from the Rider-Waite deck. All right, so we have a lot of positive energies here. Cancer is very much of the home and the mothering energy. And yeah, so Cancer, Pisces, Capricorn, and Sagittarius. And Jupiter of expansion, but also ending at the same time, along with focusing on the home and children, perhaps. And children's been a big topic. They came up a lot in messages today, too, like kids getting together to perhaps start something of their own spiritually. So the first message of the day, and this was those Rider-Waite laminated cards. The message of the day was at 10:44, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the 44. the 44 of the Four of Cups, which is grounding, integrating, and mastering of love. It can also be boredom and apathy and that kind of energy, but this is more of the energy I get for it for the twin flame reads. By the way, right as I finished the twin flame reads, a flock of geese came in. Actually, that was this morning. Yeah, I'll have to tell you what came up with that. All right, so a big flock of geese, a lot of geese. We're making a whole lot of noise at 10:42 this morning, which is the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups of the two one-on-one coming together and going south, perhaps. So the message of the day, the Queen of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Wands started it out. Perhaps the three of them looking at the world, Divine Feminine, Pisces, or Twin, choosing a new path or presenting a choice or an ultimatum, perhaps a bid to them, or multiple bids. Or the Queen of Swords sitting back offering love while the Queen of Wands deals with Pisces, or the world, or the neighborhood on their own. Or the Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups, and Queen of Wands are admiring Pisces or Divine Feminine Twin Flame for being authentic or natural, or looking outside the city more in nature. Military and businessman or president or leader, satisfied with their position, or satisfied Moroccan between them, or Cancer and Aries, or military state. Or Pisces or Divine Feminine taking a trip or a ride to satisfy the Emperor or make a deal that pleases them both. Partnering up, perhaps, three children here with the Page of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and Page of Cups, which also can be a lot of messages and offer of help. So messages or three kids or the Page of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles may be making an offer or offering to help the Page of Cups, who could be a Pisces, with the Empress, or this can be a mother, grandmother, and aunt, of great affection, stepping up or responding in kind to this child or these children, or giving them the go-ahead. The Page of Pentacles with a small offer or opportunity to the Hermit or Virgo, advisor, examiner, or inspector, gadget, or let's make a deal. Justice, judge, divorced, or Libra, King of Pentacles, with the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands, along with the Sovereign, King of Swords, and Knight of Wands over there on one side, with the King of Swords, could be with two grown kids there waiting outside of a board meeting, or 3 to 4 members who are discussing them or their kids. And then the Knight of Wands left the Queen of Pentacles on the other side, suffering in silence perhaps, or not sleeping well, left her to go to the other side where everybody else is. Perhaps she's experiencing a nightmare, or again purging, or just can't sleep, or perhaps stressed out or having headaches, or just couldn't sleep over there. This could be the Knight of Wands may have left her because they couldn't sleep where she was, or she couldn't sleep and they couldn't deal with the energy. So the Knight of Wands went to the other side, or she's suffering in silence and purging a lot. Or the Queen of Pentacles was with the Page of Pentacles child, but then, and this could be in like custody hearings too, like one child on each side, except the Page of Pentacles, even though they're with the mother, they end up going over to the father's side. That could be as well. But there's a whole group on the left side and just the Queen of Pentacles on the other side, perhaps with a child who's gone. But the Page of Pentacles may have joined up also, leaving their mother with a group, and that could be a new job as well. After getting Virgo, Queen of Pentacles, to help with a contract or read over it perhaps, the Dark Knight or Scorpio, or Libra with Scorpio, King of Cups, receiving messenger, the Knight of Swords, or an urgent message comes in. The Six of Cups soulmate, kids, or nostalgic memories of magic manifestation with lots of innocent love here. If the High Priestess is free to come be with them, having to deal with the wounded warrior who may be defensive, a defensive devil, temptation waving, or a ball and chain. So it's like the magician wants to get them to come over and see if they're free to come over to their side. But either they may have to deal with someone who they may not want to deal with, or they're the one who's still very defensive to the person offering, the magician, because they may have hurt them in the past. So again, If the high priestess is free to come be with them, having to deal with the wounded warrior who's defensive devil, temptation waving, or the ball and chain, or their two kids, perhaps a fiery wounded warrior and a Capricorn little devil who may be quite smart, or high priestess who the magician wounded while bound with sexual energy to them. Or if the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles are divorcing or taking sides, everyone is siding with the King of Pentacles, even the Page of Pentacles, who was initially staying with the Queen of Pentacles and then went back over to the other side. But again, this could also be just a child going out on their own, or going to work for a new job, and everything ended at 11:11 right here. The second message of the day was from the Kipper deck, and this is at 11:14 to 15, so 11 of justice, which is truth and balance, and then the 14 and the 15, which is the angel and the devil. So again, the polarities here. The underlying energy was the official person, and definitely first looked like there were two, like a fake couple, official fake couple, which can be, a lot of people in the limelight, right? Because they don't show their true faces. But this was coming up as the two people who could be scammers or wearing a mask, but in an official position. But it was also the number of 22, which is today, which is also the fool's journey, or taking that leap of faith. They were both masked, all right? And that can just be them being masked, right? But in an official capacity. Also, like I said, Plum Island was coming up about today. There's something under Plum Island. The dolphins and the Lemurian energy keep trying to get me to look under Plum Island. So I went in remote viewing to see if I would see anything. And I got Thumper. I don't know if that was some kind of craft I couldn't find. I looked on the internet. Also, I was getting the sea turtles. And there's a lot of information about the extinction of the sea turtles, especially around Plum Island, because there's a lot of toxic waste around there. But I was getting that it's more than that. I was getting perhaps a whale is down there. There could be, an old Atlantean energy site there. But the dolphins this is not the first time the dolphins have been trying to get me to pursue under Plum Island. So I'll tell you what else was coming up when I finish all of this regarding that. So the second message of the day, with this fake couple, or a couple in the spotlight who's masked, a man thinking of a child, or wondering what a woman was like as a child, in a sweet way. Or this could be him thinking of a woman and her little girl, perhaps in marriage and making it official, or their little girl is getting married with a license in hand and new car or home, or a lot of changes, and a message of concern or great fortune, and illness or bittersweet inheritance, or daughters expecting to be set up with unexpected message of an illness and poverty perhaps, or a young man or boy counting on the affections of their parents, grandparents, and now have to wait to marry, or have to wait for a car or home because the money they're expecting didn't come. A main female may have just gotten married or is dreaming of her wedding coming up, and the father here is concerned due to some pie in the sky energy or travel plans ungrounded, or perhaps this daughter's not being realistic because maybe she's been spoiled all her life, and now in the past year and a half that has all changed and they don't have the money they used to have, so he can't do for her what he initially would promise. So the father concerned due to the pie in the sky and travel plans ungrounded or not realistic, and this could be maybe they promised them a big trip for graduation, or a wedding gift for honeymoon, and they can't do that now, or a gift of a house or a car, or now someone must drive or walk as opposed to fly, or buying a new car, a new path and or mode of transportation. Perhaps now someone has to take the train, or this could be taking the train across the country as well to receive an inheritance, or as a privileged lady's father had sent a message to an impoverished boy or man-child, or sent him a check to help him start a new business or start over with a new occupation, or cheers I was getting, like literally a place cheers. So this could be a lot of different situations. It could be, a wealthy girl getting an inheritance and it's not what they expected, or getting a wedding gift or graduation gift and it's not what they expected, or that her father actually left the inheritance to a guy, which can be her to-be partner. Maybe he's the more responsible one, so the father wanted to help him out because he's someone who always worked for everything he had. That could be. So there also could be a couple who offered this boy or man-child who's out of work. This couple offered him work and then a place to live. The main female of marriage and high hopes or expectations, or of going before a judge, and this could be for child support as well, whether this is a marriage or divorce or in court for unpaid child support, due to unexpected bills or income unexpectedly decreased a lot, which has happened for many people, and without a vehicle and in despair, but then left a gift that they weren't expecting, perhaps from a wealthy man and his mother, perhaps, or them hiring him, or he becomes the wealthy man when the privileged lady's father left him an inheritance to take care of her and the mother and the main man, or perhaps a brother involved there too, or humble couple's gift to him of a place to live or a house, but it was all a scam of a couple with sights on her money, or the mother with 2 sons, one married and rich and the other runs the business, and the third son may be in the big house, so someone might be in jail, or living with swindlers who may have hit the jackpot but then ended up in jail. All right, so there's a lot of different weird energies coming up with this one. So this person in jail, definitely case closed, and this could be someone feeling like they're locked away forever. 1141 is justice, which is truth and balance. The 41 of the Ace of Cups, self-love, spiritual love, new love. Or this person may be locked away and they threw away the key. This also could be their parents doing this to them. This could be someone on death row, but obviously that may be for one person. While the loving lady waits for them, using their gift or gifts to create the loom, or gifting her daughter who's been a very hard worker instead. The official man may want to make it official with woman and child, or shotgun wedding, with lots of changes and a message of concern regarding their money and or their medical bills, or an ill person or father who sent a message to or about the impoverished son or man-child lover of hers. Now that she's married with official papers, the main lady's father or boss is concerned about a car, house, or distant horizons and savings, perhaps their path and needing to take a train, perhaps for privileged lady to collect her inheritance, to find an older couple and a boy receiving the bar or the business, and she now is being put to work there where she never had to work before, or her mother remarried and no longer supporting her habits, and or a long lost son has returned and is making amends with each other. The mature lady and the mature man with an empty room or house for the man or the main female and or the main male, after honoring or final salute to the courthouse, expecting a lot, but then a little comes in, and impoverished. The privileged lady and wealthy man and mother offering a gift for the man or the main man. Perhaps the gift is to move in, to have a place to live and work for them, and then perhaps to catch a thief or undercover work. Or this couple are swindlers, each hit the jackpot and then got caught and went to jail, or main male found that owning a wealthy home, perhaps inheriting the family home, only drew the wrong kind of element, or a gambling addiction, imprisoned by wealth, or just feeling imprisoned by wealth, or the look of being wealthy, right, and finding what it could be very negative to have that, or the debt from losses or child support and trapped until death do us part, or so grief-stricken by a loss of a parent, while the lady with expectations that he'll someday arrive knows he's now gone or in jail, and now to focus on their daughter working very hard, while she may be concerned about the vultures around her daughter just waiting to get in on her good thing at 12:03 because she's a really hard worker. 12 is the hanging man, 3 is the empress. Perhaps a wealthy man and his mother who aren't that at all, or this hardworking person with her sights on this wealthy man by kissing up to his mother and or boss, or man-child with affections for 3 different women, perhaps a hard worker, a mother or mature woman, and a sexy false person with false flattery or lies, cheats, and steals, perhaps with a silent partner. And right, she doesn't tell anyone that because she's trying to steal from you. And that's at 1207, which is the Hanging Man and the Chariot. So yeah, let me know if any of that resonates with you. It's definitely some interesting energy that was coming up with that. So first, let's get into the union read. Yeah, and underwater bases were coming up too. And I wouldn't be surprised if Plum Island had an underwater base there too, because it's been a military installation in one capacity or not another since the 1800s. And they actually had sonar was coming up too when I went online. That you can uncover the ocean's bottom with sonar now. Like they literally can reconstruct what's down there very specifically. So I'm getting it's really important to know what's under Plum Island. So now I'm going to be so curious until we find out what's under there. I did find out that a girl who had drowned in a river right there, actually she'd gotten sucked in by the currents on the tip of the northern tip of Plum Island. This was back in 2012, I think. Or maybe I'm quoting the wrong date, but they were using the sonar, to look for her in that search, and that was at Plum Island. So it was very interesting leading me back there again. I also keep seeing something that looks like an eyeball, but it's like, how a safe where you roll your finger over to turn it. It's the same thing, like a ball inside a ball, where you can turn the ball inside the outer ball, like an eyeball, literally, or the crazy 8-ball, that you do predictions with. I'm getting that kind of shape, and I'm not sure why. But also this could be something sonar that can just go down on its own, right? That you could put in the water and it would go down and look at the ocean's bottom. But there's something about this ball and the sonar and Plum Island, and the sea turtles came up as well as the whales. But I was also getting a craft. Some kind of spacecraft could be down there as well. So it keeps coming up, it keeps coming back, and there's a lot connected with me, with the New York area, with the tunnels under New York City. There's probably a lot of stuff that needs to be cleared out still there. And that may be why they're like shutting down the city and causing a lot of fear there, because there's a lot there that they don't want people to know about. The Statue of Liberty, like I said, is an etheric portal there for Atlantis. And then we have the 9/11 memorial, which keeps coming up as an etheric altar, where they literally come up from below ground, the masters and the ETs coming up there. So, and that can just be all the people who died there, all of a sudden showing themselves, right? Because they'd be on the other side. And that just came up now. So the union read here was at 6 o'clock p.m. last night. So a lot of zeros behind the 6 of the lovers. 4D, 5D, 6D for today, 8/22/2021. The underlying energy was the Knight of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups was the center, and the Four of Pentacles is the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave was the closing card. The Knight of Pentacles proposing or offering help to the Queen of Cups in the Divine Masculine's heart in the Crystal Batcave, perhaps meditating. Or the Knight of Pentacles supporting the Queen of Cups while the Divine Masculine is going within. The incoming Divine Feminine was the Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. The Queen of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles helping keep the truth just below the surface, ready to play ball or about Plum Island. And then I was also getting the Homedics ball, which is because Thumper is also a massager, but Thumper will come up too, because that was one of the words I'd gotten when I was doing my remote meditation. And that crazy 8 black ball. Also the buoy coming up, or the real live boy, or the boy with the Holy Grail. The Knight of Pentacles wanting to help out or offer friendship, while the Queen of Swords mosaic with towel over her lap or blanket, trying to put the puzzle pieces together. The Lemurian lineage matches her colors, blue, gray, and white, and eyeball with all-seeing eye in it. Remote view under the water, under Plum Island, and then rise above the drama with flame in hand. Then I was getting Eve Plum from the Brady Bunch, so it's like that family of bridging, 3 and 3 together, with Genie So I Dream of Jeannie and the Brady Bunch are both coming up here to grant all their wishes. So Grant, the name Grant, could be coming up here too. Thumper, again, and Sea Turtle came up in my meditation, which was just here. The dolphin took me under Plum Island and literally was showing me Thumper. You know, Thumper like will wag their tail with their little feet, you know, trying to get somewhere. There was definitely Thumper coming up. And then they were showing me the sea turtles. And then there's a lot online about the rescues of the sea turtles at Plum Island, literally, in the past, not this year, but also Florida and other places. But also there's a card from the Animal Spirit deck of the whale that looks like a rescued animal on a raft. The whale actually looks like a raft with a rescued animal that's like exhausted on it or had died. So again, that could be, the whale card came up, could just be the sea turtle, you know, on board, or it could be a whale down there as well. But I keep getting spacecraft down there too, but I'm not finding anything like called Thumper specifically for that online. So a Thumper sea turtle did come up with a 14-pound tumor, but that was in Florida back in September last year. Thumper massager came up, but also 12/17/19, Senator Monica Martinez in New York was working on a bill to recognize the importance of the sea turtles around Plum Island. This was just, you know, a year and a half ago. This is Plum Island, Great Gull, and Little Gull Islands. Steve Engelbright was also involved in that bill. There's also a Thumper ship yacht, which was coming up, which was significant. It was on its way to Cannes, France. It had been in Italy in a bunch of different locations. And this is a beautiful yacht. It's not like a ship. It's a yacht. But it's called Thumper. And I have all the numbers written down for it. It was 9751987 and then MMSI 229942,000. It was built in 2014 and currently Western Mediterranean en route to Cannes. It's supposed to arrive in Cannes today in France. So that was significant because the 22nd, and today's the 22nd, as I got this information last night. The ship is under the flag of Malta. And like I said, it was in Italy from 8/6 to 8/14, and then on its way to France afterwards to arrive in Cannes today. The gross tonnage, 338, and the owner is also Thumper Limited. So it's called Thumper, but it's also owned by Thumper Limited, which came up in offshore leaks, and that's icij.org. Also, it was incorporated May 29th, 14, and in dissolution, it says 3 officers and 1 address. And again, ICIJ Offshore Leaks Database by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. So this business was under that website. Thumper Limited, there's locations at Gibraltar and Cayman Islands. Universal Entity Code 1053, 4296, 1259, and 4075. And the address was St. Christopher Street, 136, Valletta, VLT 1463. I was looking up Thumpercraft, and what did come up was Project Orion, which was old. That's from the 1950s project. A nuclear propulsion project. Was also getting SAM-A-19 Plato, which was from Wikipedia, from March 1946. Also, it was called MX795. Thumper is also a keg in home brewing alcohol, 21021. That came up. Also, Thumper came up for different violent games, rhythm games. It was weird. M79 grenade launcher, also with nickname Thumper, that they used in Vietnam. So at 729, which is the Chariot and the 3 of Wands being present, the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords with the truth about Middle Eastern border patrol was also coming up. And then Grenada, but also a grenade in the water, or Grenada. So I don't know if there's a grenade. Maybe that's the circle thing inside a circle that I was seeing that's actually under Plum Island. or Grenada, but grenade in the water was coming up here. And the truth about the Middle Eastern Border Patrol. It was so weird, all the different things I was getting for that. The 4D here is lovers, abundance, and guidance. The Divine Feminine lovers, rainbow, and Divine Masculine's guidance of Buddha and Sphinx, bridging with abundance, the mother lode, carrying the weight of the Divine Masculine on her shoulders, but with a smile on her face. The 5D is the wheel, the Queen of Cups, and the 8 of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine destined to seal the deal with atom, which can be an atom as well. The Divine Masculine working with crystals and portals, lining steps to the 5D tower, or bridging with the Queen of Cups in the islands or falls, or on vacation in the lap of luxury. The 6D here is the Page of Swords, 4 of Wands, and the 3 of Wands. As the Divine Feminine message climbing to the top, the Divine Masculine present to flame and to gifts, and red sky bridging with the house, home, or union, and the drawbridge extended at 743, which 43 kept coming up yesterday, which is the 3 of Cups, and it's 743/7, and then this is at 743. The Divine Feminine lovers destined to share their little light, the Divine Masculine with guidance on creating a present or gift. The bridge between them, the abundant Empress and the Queen of Cups, perhaps in a home made manifest. The outgoing Divine Masculine is the 5 of Swords, 2 of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles, where the frog is growing to the Prince as the juggler or the performer, perhaps stretching and growing, while the twin flame hermit in exile, trying to put the puzzle pieces together in the cold Mary Magdalene cave, while the Divine Masculine in the Bat cave, warm and cozy. The Divine Feminine with Gemini and Libra on their side, with the Page of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Divine Masculine with Taurus on their side, and the Twin Flame Hearts, inner war. Between the Masculine and Feminine is Taurus energy here. The overall number was 39 of the Knight of Cups, which can be an offer of love. The horizontal pillars came up 11, 8, and 20, which is justice, strength, and judgment. And the vertical pillars came up as 1, the Magician, 7, the Chariot, 4, the Emperor, 11, Justice, 5, Hierophant, 2, High Priestess, and the 9 is the Hermit. So the messages were coming up as justice of the dance of decision making, and perhaps a loving offer. Also the Star Emperor with justice, with the Hierophant present with a proposal, or the Queen of Swords, Hermit, with a proposal or an offer of love. The Magician, Chariot, Emperor, and Justice, with the Hierophant, High Priestess, and Hermit, and the Knight of Cups, offer of love. But again, there's some kind of decision making, so a lot about houses and cars is coming up. Somebody might be buying a house or a car. But again, the justice of doing the dance and decision making, right? All the stuff that goes into buying something big is coming up here. And being love while doing that, right? Manifesting what you want by being that which it is that you want. So yeah, I'm going to go through this, and then there might be a little bit more about Plum Island at the end of this that I wanted to bring up with you. What was before this? Yeah. But again, there could be an underwater base there. It was a base militarily multiple times for different reasons, and it was still owned by the Department of Homeland Security recently too. Like I think Homeland Security owns it now. They're supposed to be moving their base to Arkansas? I'm trying to remember which state. But that may not happen until 23 because they've got a lot of cleaning up to do because they left a lot of toxic crap there. So the Twin Flame read here was done at 8:08. I cut the Syrian Starseed deck. And again, today's the 22nd of the Fool's Journey, and the day adds up to the 35, which is the Wounded Warrior. So again, the Fool and the Wounded Warrior, very different energies. One's being the victim, and the other one's free to leap. Maybe other people see them as foolish because they're pretending like everything's fine. Or maybe that's how they feel, right? But that's where we're supposed to be, in that being love all the time and raise our vibration and not be the Wounded Warrior victim mentality. At 8:17 of the dance and the 17 of the star, I and E crystals came up. And I and E can be of self, like discipline is actually being the disciple of self. So it's self crystals, or self, and self becoming crystalline, and Sophia is coming up here as well. But also the S is coming up as self. Also crystals is crystals, or purging and or being Christ-like. And I finished clarifying at 8:33, which again is the 8 of the dance, the inner or outer strength, the manifestation of dreams, and the 33 of the Christ vibration. Also the 7 of Wands, standing up for oneself without getting defensive. The major arcana in this read was the Star Seed, Alchemy. I'm going to turn the light on for this read. Oh, that was on. Sorry. The major arcana here, Star Seed, which is the Fool, Alchemy, which is the Temperance card, Solar Deity, or the Sun, and then Indigo, which is the Magician. But this is a very young child magician energy with a big diamond in their hands. Before the read is Reflection, which is the Hermit. We had 4 swords, 1 wand, 2 pentacles. The Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the King of Swords were the characters in the read. And before the read, 2 pages came up, the Page of Wands and Page of Cups. And after the read, the King of Cups came up. We had the Sovereign in the read as well. We had double 2s, 4s, and 10s here. 2s and 4s more significant than the 10s. So the Fool, and then the 44 again of the 4 of Cups, grounding, integrating, and mastering of love. And again, 10-10, reminding you to keep it really high, high vibrational. And the 9-10, begin again, keep coming back to center. Every time you expand, you need to center yourself again. And then we also have the 12 of the Hangman, 24 of the Queen of Wands, 45 of the 5 of Cups, the Grieving card, and the 69 of the the Ace of Pentacles, an offer of time, money, effort, or new life. And again, 9-10, begin again. And 4-10 also comes up here with 0 backing up the 41, which is the Ace of Cups. And we also have 9-10, which is 0 backing up the 91, which is the reflection of the Sun, 19, which for me comes up as the central Sun. Always coming back to center again, 0 point. The code line here was all about effort and creativity, and the number 2 of the Divine Feminine, the High Priestess, the one-to-one relationships, with the numbers 412, 22, 44, 10-10, 12 the Hangman, 24 the Queen of Wands, 49 also came up here, which is the 9 of Cups, the Get Your Wish card, and the other numbers that I told you already. So the messages came through as Sensei Sophia on Fall Street. So here again, Nick Foley comes up here again. But Sensei Sophia, Fall Street, but Foal also is about the fool, or the crazy man, the madman, the fool's journey, which is what's coming up here as the path of the fool. Sensei Sophia on the fool's journey, the twin flames seeing the key Indigo, which is the magician, and the key I am presence. But also Screech was coming up here. And Screech was like the best friend nerd, right, on a TV show. So that's also coming up here. To see the whale's folly journey, or folly journey, you know, like the fun journey of the whale, and here's the whale coming up again. To see the whale's folly journey, the fool's path, the twin flames seeking the E, which is the 5 of expansion and freedom and change. Indigo is in digging up human remains, or the human faces. Yeah, so digging them up. And that comes up as the crystal skull as well. What was I getting yesterday about faces? Oh, the faces in the clouds. Because I posted that cloud. I hope you were able to see the loving woman's face. It was really beautiful, like peaceful woman's face. So I hope you could see that in the clouds in the picture I posted from yesterday morning. So to see the whale's folly, also perhaps a sudden event, and the see with your eyes, see with your ocean emotions, see with the letter C, the Christ consciousness or unity consciousness, to be. I was getting BB too, because that's Netanyahu. I don't know why Netanyahu's coming up, because Israel wasn't coming up, but there you go. And then to be and poetry coming up here. The Sophia, or the feminine side of the madman, being a saint, the twin flame seeing the key in the indigo, the one, the one made from oak bark or very strong. And we have Arabic coming up as one of the definitions here too, in the island near Sicily, but they speak Arabic there. The funeral that they have there was actually the thing coming up in the definition. Again, funeral remains. A wandering session is fausty or moldy, musty, stuffy, or old-fashioned. Choosing a path to see key, indigo, 1. I was also getting to see the equal, companion, or friend, a satisfying match, a crazy path of the twin flames seeking the E, indigo, screech, right? So the magical, free, expanding Elohim, Eve, indigo, screech, which is your nerdy best friend, with effort and creativity. And so then Screech came up because I looked him up, and he died this year. He died February 1st, 21. He was only 44 years old in Cape Cod, Florida, of cancer. And then, so for those of you who didn't know, Screech died. He died in February. He did a whole lot of different things, like with, producing and wrestling. Actually wrestled, I think it said. And that was just Wikipedia stuff. But also was coming up here the senses and the streetcar named Desire to see the key in the magical Screech, or, right, that nerdy best friend, the magical nerd. So this read started out at 9:14, which is the 9 of the Hermit, the 14 of the Temperance card. That was actually the day I got married. 9:14, but the 14 and the 15 are also coming up here again as the angel and the devil, because I wrote down 9:14 and 15 on the next line. So again, the angel and the devil, I always think of Animal House when I think of that, but here's the Hermit, but September also coming up because we're in Virgo now, right, going forward into Virgo. The Ace of Swords is the first card up here, upright, and beneath it the reflection of the Hermit reversed, the Page of Wands reversed, the Page of Cups reversed, and then the Six of Pentacles reversed with the Ten of Wands upright. So perhaps the Hermit going crazy, over isolating, doesn't have to be a hermit though. It's somebody over isolating or coming out, and the Page of Wands reversed, or Page of Cups reversed, which can be the little devils there, not sharing nicely and sent down to the basement to find the truth. A sudden event, epiphany, sex, or presently recovering when the truth is presented to come out and rise above and awaken. Wake up. The Queen of Swords speaking about or to the unhappy family or cycle that's so over, with crazy hermit, fool who's unhappy, with Hierophant draining the King of Cups, or while the King of Cups is in bliss, where the worst is now over and hanging out with the Empress or Mother. We had the Hermit came up 3 times right here in the underlying energies all together. So Hermit times 3 because we're starting Virgo now. Also Scorpio, that was reversed. Scorpio upright, Aries reversed, and Taurus times 2 as well with Leo reversed. And Cappy and Pisces upright here. Glued to the ceiling, seeing new views of the room. And this could be someone like literally hanging upside down, seeing the room from upside down, but also being on the ceiling, seeing from the ceiling. So somebody could be practicing their remote viewing or just being stuck to the glass ceiling with their lucky boots not working for him while the Empress is sitting on pins and needles, or he getting acupuncture all over their head. So here the head and the face is coming up again. Regarding the crystal skulls, maybe there's a crystal skull under Plum Island that needs to be found. At 9:41, or actually, this is the an extra read, and it's more of a divine masculine read here. It's like a mini read. So I'm just going to give you the energy for this in case it relates to you. The underlying energy was of falling out, a negative past, getting over loss, regret, or depression, and needing to heal. As the King of Pentacles in energetic exchange, or arrows of love, in the recent past is the Ten of Pentacles upright, perhaps a treasure found, and the foundation, the Page of Swords reversed, in negative self-talk, or perhaps rumors, or the silent treatment, or just really immature communication in the foundation. The central energy is the Lover's upright, challenged by being tempted by the Holy Grail. And now in the header is the Five of Wands reversed in a losing battle, where soon coming up was a third party fantasy lover, where the masculine energy here is seeing themselves as the Six of Wands reversed under the radar, perhaps feeling like a failure or feeling needy, and around them or how they're seen is the Page of Pentacles, maybe seen as a child with a crush, or the block of the world upside down, or the divine feminine in the 5D, or Pisces reversed, and reaping rewards of surrender into separation or leaving prison or their own imprisonment, insecure without tools, blowhard, or day the music died, needing to swallow their pride with secret passion and blinded, who may be blinded by the light of psychic connection and emotional fulfillment. Overworked, dependent spending, at night, the full moon, which is today, the full moon, and weak with the Queen of Pentacles, dissatisfied and suffering in silence, or a sister unable to sleep, and detoxing, seeing synchronicities in heaven in their eyes, perhaps out the back, Jack, a thief in the night, or ghosting, not sharing and in need of peace, perhaps rejected, Knight of Cups reversed, with the Knight of Wands upright, leaving them for dead in the past, now free but uninspired and drained, or misplaced fiery energy of Sag upright, Aries upright, and Leo reversed, all right here together, or Leo child out in the cold. And I actually ended up watching Misha and the Wolves, which is a very interesting movie last night. The Queen of Wands reversed, fallen angel, or was, and Misha, by the way, was she ended up being a liar. But there is very delicate situation because she also was traumatized as a child. And it was all about being a Holocaust child, but she actually wasn't. So yeah, watch the movie if you want to check it out. It's pretty interesting there. But this is bringing up the energy of someone who lied. But did they do it maliciously or because they have a mental illness or they were traumatized? You know, there's kind of a, you know, it's hard to, to judge people when they've been through something difficult, right? But there's misplaced fire energy coming up here with Sag upright, Aries upright, and Leo reversed, or a Leo child who feels out in the cold with the Queen of Wands reversed, fallen angel, or with Sagittarius without the facade, right, dropping the facade, or you can imagine like a little kid living with the wolves, or with money, the Hermit, so someone without a facade, no money, being completely natural, the Hermit, Queen of Cups, offer of a new life, defenseless to the energies and attacks of moving and visiting or ending a marriage, which can be a business marriage as well, in a twist of fate, co-creating, blocked, refused to budge, the injustice of dumping a load, a burden, or responsibilities in order to triumph while keeping their cards close to their chest, of the Emperor reversed who may be out of control in a marriage or leaving behind a religion, establishment, or Taurus upright, and the King of Swords reversed rising above in a split, lie, or cutting through the BS with no options but death, dark night, endings, and transition in order to travel, move, or ascend with no way out. Perhaps traumatized Queen of Swords reversed by the Ace of Wands arousal and dumping a load with the King of Wands reversed, who may be acting all innocent, or the Page of Cups wondering what's going on with the Emperor reversed and running to tell the King of Cups what had happened. So then I just pulled a quick card to see what came up from the Animal Spirit deck, and the whale came out again. And again, it reminded me of like the whale, like depleted on a raft, but also the sea turtle, which is coming up as the King of Cups here. The underlying energy was the lizard with the phoenix beneath it, right? The phoenix rising and then being blocked by the lizard. So it's like the masculine phoenix rising, but having some kind of karmic energy blocking them. And then the Knight of Swords songbird, and this could be someone who ratted them out, of the Empress reversed and her disgrace, with the Page of Cups hyena and the King of Wands reversed dragon or reptile, with the sweet nectar of the child or the moth to the flame, with the Queen of Swords reversed, perhaps dealing with sudden energy or sex. This could be a shocking event as well. With the King of Cups was coming up as the King of the Sea, or Charlie Tuna, needing rescue from the Knight of Swords, who may be telling on them. So the King of Cups is coming up here as the whale, but also Charlie Tuna, or the King of the Sea. So those names could be coming up. And again, Neptune and Poseidon may be coming up as the King of Cups here, or the King of the Sea. 1037 is the Wheel of Fortune, and the 37, which is the King of Cups again, which is also unconditional love. At 1039, which is then the Knight of Cups, the Page of Wands is reversed, frustrated or all over the place, with the Emperor upright working to align with the Sovereign in a streetcar named Desire. The Emperor trying to keep up with the Sovereign's spending, and this could be their child or their someone who's younger than who works for them, but it's very independent, but they're spending too much. He is also, but he's blaming her for the overspending, and yet he loves his snakeskin boots. Or he may be diabetic and his feet are always wrapped. The Emperor's working to be sovereign, or deal with two kids here, like the Nine of Pentacles sovereign and the Page of Wands reversed, or trying to keep them in the style they're accustomed to. So he's the Emperor, so he might have had a wealthy family, his kids might have been spoiled, and now they can't be spoiled anymore because he's lost money. So that second time that came up today. I'm calling in your soulmate. Beneath that, finances and career. Suffering in silence in the nightmare on Elm Street, perhaps. Present to a romantic tie, where the worst of the pain is now over, with the bliss coming in. With big lover through work, high priestess with keys, or dark priestess with spell work, and the keys to the house. Perhaps with bells on her toes and cat at her big feet. Cleavage down to her navel, or there could be a Wiccan here. And a sports car just drove by with a messed up muffle or muffler. Yeah, it's so weird. It was a really loud, I don't know if it was a Mustang or something like that. Just went by as I said Wiccan. All about feel and toes and bubble blowers. Oh, all about feet. All about the feet and toes and bubble blowers here. Or two stepsisters desperate for attention while Cinderella gets the man. Herbs in the pot and exposed logs. Or chef's kitchen. Here comes that car again. Do you hear it? He just drove back the other way. I don't know what the heck that is, I bet. Herbs in the pot and exposed logs of the chef's kitchen, and grass in her hair. Dungeons and Dragons or sex room in the basement with cauldron or video, while Cinderella's in the woods with the animals, right? She's singing and being lovely and sweet. Readying her, the animals are readying her or getting her ready for Robin Hood to arrive and his blissful cooking or merry men. And then we have the patience of 2 and pride underneath that of 19, the sun. The patience of the high priestess or divine feminine, and the pride of the sun, where pride comes before a fall. And pride and prejudice also came up here, where prejudice breaks up into pre-Jew dice, right? So there's energy about Jesus coming up there, but also that can be prejudice regarding the Jewish people, saying that they're dicey, or there's something suspicious about the Jew, right? That could be coming up in pride and prejudice. Or before the Jew, a gambling addiction. And this could be someone who's married a Jewish person, perhaps who got them over an addiction, and that may be their loyalty to that person. At 10:55, which is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune and 55 of the Truth. And I kept smelling skunk the past hour or so as I was doing this read, and I don't know where I went. I was outside. I haven't smelled it outside anywhere, and yet I keep smelling this vague scent of skunk. So it must be somewhere in the woods, but I'm not smelling it outside, so it's just weird. So then and that could be part of the read, right? So I did smell it faintly again this morning as I came back in the house, but I didn't smell it outside at all. But I'm not smelling it here now anymore, but I did a little bit at the door, so I don't know where it was. And that could have to do with somebody going through a portal or an entrance, like a skunk, like something that smells. You don't want it, like something's kind of stinky here that doesn't smell right. So there's something about that coming up here. The Knight of Cups upright, ready for love. Perhaps they spoke too soon, or frustrated, or not aroused, or unable to understand the patience of a higher love. New information comes in, but that may have knocked them off balance or for a loop. Resting, meditating, or on break, focusing on their heart or their heart connection with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, needing to choose between 3 sets of eyes, or had several handles or handlers, or blue eyes all over the place, or all colors of contacts. Crossed by the X, unable to trust, a chronic liar who'd have believed it. Their eyes are not their own, or had transplant surgery and unable to see while they're recovering, and left with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and he with his sword by the bed. So this could be someone who can't see or went through eye surgery recently, who's now with someone, or perhaps still living with their ex where they don't trust at all and now they can't see, so they don't know, they're afraid that they may hurt them at night or steal from them, but they're definitely not trusting and they're definitely on guard, but having trouble seeing. Aquarius reversed and Sag upright here, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, presenting the truth about the Empress or to the Empress and Sovereign and High Priestess, or that can be a mother and her sister and a daughter, or this could be a coven or patience as well. The underlying energy here is the Queen of Cups reversed, released from prison by the Page of Cups, and then going forward after this read is the energy of the Queen of Wands and King of Wands and the King of Swords, perhaps rejected an offer of love from the Page of Swords, in disconnect or at a distance, wanting to start over to fix things and or make amends. So perhaps the King of Swords is staying with the King and Queen of Wands, on the outs with the Page of Wands, which can be their child, or it can be a partner who's much younger than them, or acting like a child. Again, playing the role of the victim child who has been lying the whole time. So I was definitely getting one scenario here where I think someone was lying to the other person their whole marriage, like they had no idea who this person really was. And they may have even had some kind of mental issue that they never told them about. Or it could be just lying about who they are, always telling them that what they want to hear, never being truthful to them about who they really are. There's and all of a sudden it comes out. That's so weird, because we're having all these people race by. That was not the same car as the other one. With revving engines going by, that doesn't usually happen. So there's something about like a heavy, loud sports car. And this is 1122, the 11 of Justice, the 22 of the Fool. In the recent past is the 4 of Swords reversed, unable to sleep, numb, or rising above. There they go again. That is so weird. I don't know if they're racing each other or timing each other going down the street, but one was a white car and one was a black car. First one was the black car, second one was the white car. So weird. All right, so the 4 of Swords, unable to sleep, numb, or rising above, awake and coming out at 11:22. Again, today's the 22nd, the Fool. And Justice, truth and balance. The dark night, death, ending, or transition, uncomfortably frustrated or numb, but the worst is over, of dreams, healing, and the 10 of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, dysfunction or loss, or misappropriation of funds, and coming together for a reunion, with a gift or present to the Knight of Wands reversed, who could be a player, or just falling short, or caught, co-creating a story with the High Priestess and the kids, or paralyzed by their passions in coming together with the High Priestess soulmate. Scorpio upright, Aquarius, and Pisces all upright here. The foundation being alchemy, the higher love of the world, the sealed divine feminine, vulnerable and coming clean or cleaning up, or patient with spoiled child, or Pisces rejected, without tools or insecure about savings and or withholding from the King of Swords, in need of the sun, or coming out about being out of control, or out of control kids, Leo, or pets, or overexposure, and the central energy being the starseed reversed. Patient, in need of a fresh start, home after a reunion with family and gifts, justice or small wedding or ceremony or divorce, and Libra or judge who fell from grace or embarrassed themselves in a fall or fell off the wagon or horse, or working and had to kick 2 out who were getting out of hand. Aries and Sag both reversed here, and Libra upright here. Or 3 friends were out celebrating, and Libra went home early while the others stayed out drinking, or kids got drunk at a family party, and Libra's not happy about that and dealing with them. The block here, or the challenge here, being the choice of path with no options, or feeling like they don't have any options, or the keys taken away from them so they couldn't drive, or the challenge being in need of the twin flame, uncomfortable and frustrated, wounded warriors surrendering to their soulmate or kids, reaping rewards of their hard work. The workplace regrets, or up nights on call, or ambulance chaser, or frequent trips to the ER, or traveling, moving, or ascending, the devil waving, temptation, or Capricorn, and the Queen of Wands undressing, marking her territory, but castrated when not getting her way, healing a 3-way situation, patient angel, explosive, having an epiphany or sexual exchange, with defensive end, without any option, and justice, with bad karma, in not offering love, but having had schmoozed to get attention and to feel in control. Now is the Page of Swords, with a message at the full moon, or from Cancer, dark night, magician manifesting emotional fulfillment, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Burdened, Atlas with the weight of the world and dropping the ball, unsatisfactory, someone might be told. The Queen of Wands with 2 devils or Capricorn around them, the Page of Swords imprisoned by energy vampiring, or the Queen of Wands with a Queen of Wands. I was getting the Queen of Wands being a lure for sex, while her silent partner steals while they get busy. And again, this is that scammer couple where the woman pulls in a guy with money or whatever they're going to do, and then the man, who no one knows about, comes in and steals while they're busy. So sweet justice for 2 couples who may be sharing the profits, or at 11:47, the Justice and the 7 of Cups, which is having a lot of options or synchronicities, or heaven in their eyes. At the full moon, perhaps parties with lots of drinking, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, blocking energetic exchange with the Empress, who's defenseless in breakup or lack of affection, and taming her inner beast. At the full moon, and disconnect or at a distance, no one to eat out with, while on the journey to the Hierophant, which can be also a business, a religion, a leader, a Taurus person, a marriage, but in the downturn and nowhere to eat. Magician is hangry, with Taurus upright and Libra reversed, with a visitor or someone's chopped liver, they may be in trouble, receiving love from the Chariot, Cancer, Doctor, or the 2 bulls split, with lots of options or synchronicities and heaven in their eyes, confused about their choices, or if what they see is actually real. Soon here's the Page of Pentacles upright, the student, opportunity or invite, curious about abilities, but their hands are tied while starting over, saving or feeling not enough in a losing battle, with the Queen of Cups reversed, moving to peace, cleaning up the act and breaking patterns or dropping the act. Twin flames seeing themselves as the Sun reversed, in need of fun, perhaps drained though and overexposed, with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, with the Knight of Cups reversed between them, which can be jealousy or rejection between them as well. No option but to receive the Knight of Swords, High Priestess, coming in and hanging out with the King of Cups, an unhappy family who may be very judgmental or making an announcement. Leo reversed and Pisces upright, Capricorn and Aquarius upright here, with the honeymoon and love yourself first, but also forgiving and learning and playfulness here. At 11:56, which is Justice and the 2 of Swords, which is where we started today, 56, being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear or to yourself, quiet. Around the twins are how they're seen as the King of Swords upright, with the Queen of Swords speaking to the King of Pentacles about letting go and fixing things, perhaps healing with clarity, with an opportunity to balance things out, perhaps research the gold coin. The block here being Indigo reversed, the Patient Angel or Sagittarius, inequity, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, dealing with creativity, effort, but even more so parenting, whether that's for your children, yourself, or your parents. recovering from exile without help. It's like people left out in the cold with no one reaching out to help them, and able to recover on their own. And sovereign obsessing over their hair or over cutting cords. With Cancer upright and Libra upright and reversed, sovereign spreading the word, or up to bat at the batting cage, or Little League, or baseball season. The sovereign hermit recovering from exile, from the group, where the worst is now over, and them home with the King of Cups in disconnect, or now going to be at a distance, or is. Receiving an offer of love, or God's gift. And that could be a snide comment, too, about someone who thinks they're God's gift to the world. So then at 12:24, which then was today, the 22nd, the 12 of the Hangman, the 24 of the Queen of Wands, the truth of a higher love without sunshine, and the King of Swords rising above, and then falling, challenged by no options, with the Page of Pentacles curious about their abilities, and the Indigo without an offer to give, the Page of Swords with a message for sovereign who's recovering, now that the worst is over, regarding the home or union, with the King of Cups in disconnect, not seeing eye to eye, or at a distance from them, after receiving a big sweet offer. Atlas leaving the wounded warrior behind, presenting the whole truth to awaken the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Patient angel of a higher love, lacking faith, challenged by a false twin, or with a message to give, and in need of vacation with the Page of Pentacles and the King of Swords. The Indigo reversed without an offer, and the sovereign hermit recovering without an olive branch, extended now that the worst is over, and the bliss setting in union at 12:32, the Hangman and the journey. Home with the King of Cups receiving an offer of big love, but from a distance. So some more information this morning that came up. And by the way, one of the sonar stuff that they can use to actually get very explicit details about what's on the bottom of the ocean, Japan came up because that's where they had discovered some Atlantis, what they think is Atlantis uncoverings as some of the beaches were wearing away. So what came up so I asked again about Plum Island this morning for you guys before the video. And I immediately, this is not the first time I've been seeing this, but I've been seeing the birds flying back and forth as soon as I close my eyes. So again, thumper and sea turtles came up under Plum Island. Maybe animals or spaceship or something dying under there. Again, whales could be there. But also this could be an underwater base. Fort Terry was the base on Plum Island. It was like the power position for the Atlantic entrance in 1897 through World War II. And in 1952, it became a military, animal, and biological warfare research facility, which now you know about currently. And then from cyberscoop.com, November 16, 18, Plum Island housed gun batteries, World War I torpedoes, and of course the animal-borne diseases. But the new use they were talking about, and this article was from 2018, was the island being the guinea pig now for cyber attacks that could hamstring a power grid. So the DARPA came up, which is the Pentagon's R&D arm, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, the team with engineers to try to restore the power that had been out for weeks following a hypothetical cyber attack. It's called Black Start, and they use a generator to restart the power system, substation by substation, while coping with continued threats to the grid. The Russians have treated the Ukrainian power grid as their testing grounds, their lab, honing their tradecraft in disruptive attacks in 2015 and 16 with RADICS, which is Rapid Attack Detection, Isolation, and Characterization Systems. And that was since 2015, with about 77 million that had been spent as of 2018. And there was a drill under Department of Energy's Liberty Eclipse Exercise Program. So yeah, a lot of titles there. Which was a test bed, an anagram of hardware and software developed at the University of Illinois, which was very interesting because when I got the Knights of C, not only did it come up as the Catholic Church in Ohio, but it came up as a department in Illinois, in Chicago, which brought up the fact that the school that this was Knights of C were actually, people who would know how to dig underground tunnels and stuff. All right, so that was very interesting. That's coming up, that reference to that. And again, Tim Yardley was coming up as the University of Illinois researcher there. And Yardley is where my mother died, so it's really weird too. All right, so Russian hackers recently, 2018, targeted energy companies in Poland and Ukraine. At Plum Island, they would do another round in 2019 of testing for cyber attacks, planning to go back and try again May, June of 2019. As tools mature, so do the test ranges and the people. So I watched a quick YouTube on Plum Island that was from July 11th, 2012. And of course, they reference to it as a Nazi lab, but also not the Caliban, maybe, but they just referenced other negative groups associated with Plum Island, where it was John Gresham who was denied access, so he ended up flying over Plum Island to see what he could find. The old lab was a mess. They had just let it, gone to crap. And then the new lab was kept very well, so they knew that one was still active. And this was in 2012. So the Legend of Atlantis and Draining the Oceans, National Geographic, 12/31/20 came up on my feed right next to that one. Where new technology that can look at the ocean's bottom, where the real sites of Atlantis may be discovered. And Plato was the first to describe Atlantis. Waters receding on Japan at Yonaguni. They described it being like Machu Picchu ruins, and 5 football fields big, 8 stories high with steps. So again, sonar scanning coming up here, allowing us to see the bottom of the ocean. And they were going through the Greek ocean bottoms as well, Alacanis Bay and Pablo Petri. So you can check that video out if you want. It's on YouTube. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull what else was I getting? I was getting the V, and also like the heartbeat wave, mountains and valleys. There's something going on under Plum Island, but if any of you guys can feel into it or remote view into it, see what you see, let me know, please. It's not the first time that's come up. It's been multiple times. All right, so with the Animal Spirit deck, let's see what comes up. Can you please let us know what our main message is for the Twin Flames, the takeaway for today, or anything about Plum Island, more that we need to know? What message are you trying to get across about Plum Island? Okay. What is the message here? Oh, that came right out. The bald eagle. And the talons grasping on. And this is described as the sun. The eagle dives. I don't know if it's regarding the eagles too, right? Because the Plum Island's related to Hog Island, which is where the international airport now is in Philadelphia. So I don't know if there's a connection there. But I'm going to read you the eagle. So here's the bald eagle diving, coming out on his own. And again, the bald eagle came up in my harmonic egg meditation as the first thing that made me cry, as the lone masculine eagle who would mourn for his whole life after not having his partner with him anymore. And also the eagle came up as the prehistoric bird who had a love relationship with an elephant, and the only way they could show each other's love to them was by the talons massaging the elephant's head, which I'm getting that energy too here, right? Of different species being able to love each other. And it reminds me of Elena with Thor Han as well, right? Because they're in 2 different worlds. So these 2 cards are coming up next, of the black egg, which is all about the throat chakra, and the gazelle, which is about grace and beauty and peace. And this is like on the Serengeti. but this also represents the lower chakra system. Also, I wanted to mention that I told you a couple days ago or last week, I found a moth dead in the sink in the water in the morning, which I felt really bad about, but I took a picture of it because it was so beautiful. And there's a baby moth on my screen door outside my front door who looks just like them. And I feel like it was the mother, but the moth, I tried to see if it was dead on the door, and it seems like it won't move an inch, but I put my fingernail under it a little bit and it did flap really quick to hold on, but it won't move. I feel so bad, I don't know what to do for it. So again, there's the mother and child energy here, right, of the gazelle and the Serengeti and the egg. But again, this is about the throat chakra and the whole truth. And so why is the Serengeti coming up? And Morocco came up in the read. Morocco and the gazelle, because remember when I talk about, and also Gibraltar came up from that company Thumper. And Gibraltar, I was talking about the triangle there of Gibraltar and the two mountains of Hercules and Atlas. And Hercules came up in something I read yesterday too. So that's like the arrow pointing to the UK, which then the Strait of Gibraltar points to, Washington. But the Serengeti's coming up here, right? Because the Atlas and those mountains are in Africa. The Atlas Mountains are in Morocco, and I forget which country the Hercules Mountains in, which they always say it's one or the other, but I feel like it's both because they're triangular. They're like the pillars leading to the Rock of Gibraltar. So, and the eagle represents the United States, and this is representing Africa, right? So, all right, so we've got the eagle for the United States, and then we have the Serengeti of Africa, and then the truth, right? His side, her side, and the truth, right? So everyone has their own truth, but what's the real truth? That's the truth that they're talking about, not your perspective as your human experience, but your truth, which is being love. That's the truth. And then we have these two guys coming up of the butterfly and the mouse. So again, the transformation and the mouse. We're dealing with the dark energies coming off the planet, displaced by the light that's coming in. And there is still rainbow energy around this little mouse, but it's mostly dark energy. And they're very frightened and scared. They're trying to stay. It's like the little moth on my door. Oh, it is my moth. This is my moth on the door, right? Because they're defenseless without their mother. They don't know how to fly yet. Like they're going through their transition. And their mother died. And they're lost without them. So it's like the abandoned children here. They're really scared in this dark energy. Now, this butterfly is not in this dark energy like this, but they're just coming out of the chrysalis, so, they're weak and vulnerable. Just like this one's weak and vulnerable because they're in the dark energy and they don't understand what to do. So again, it's all about the children's vulnerability, and the fox is nearby. But remember, in this deck, the fox is all about the loyal partner. They may be sly and witty, but they're also very loyal to their partner. And this is so interesting because in the movie I watched last night, it was supposed to be about her growing up with the wolves. And I visited a wolf adventure when I was out west recently in May. So again, the wolves, they're beautiful, wonderful, loving animals, right? But they are pack animals. But the wolf has been coming up as, this is the fox, not the wolf, but I'm getting the wolf from it because I was watching the wolf thing last night. So, and there is a wolf in this deck too. But again, even the fox here, these young are going to be very vulnerable to the fox, or the fox can be their parent. And this could be someone other than your own species taking you on. So that was what happened in the movie last night, right? Where supposedly the wolves took on the little girl as their own in the pack. And this is what this is relating to too. You're going to start seeing animals take on other animals that have been left behind. Very interesting. Making them family. And then we have the elephant and the rabbit. So remember I told you about the talons and the elephant. This was the prehistoric bird connecting with the elephant, and that's kind of like, you know, multidimensional living, like Elena Danan and Thorhan, right? They're multidimensional, like the prehistoric bird and the elephant, perhaps in two different dimensions, unable to only show each other by massaging their brain or, you know, sending them love to their head, which is basically what Thoron does, you know, in his connection with Elena, which I'm probably not describing it correctly, but this is just the energy that's coming up. It's the message. So yeah, we're going to see lots of crossover here in different cultures coming together, which is really good. But here we have the African elephant, right? It could be an Indian or African elephant, and then the rabbit here. And the rabbit's going from, this is more 3D energy with the reds and oranges, but this is getting more kind of like magenta colors. It's like calming them down a little bit instead of being so fearful, because usually the bunny's terrified. But here the bunny's not going to be scared of the elephant. This could be even in the news where there's an elephant who's taking care of a bunny, which wouldn't that be so cute? Oh my gosh. But the least likely of couples here, like protecting them from the predators here. Okay? Because you see there's very similar background here of the bunny and the cheetah. But the cheetah is like hypnotized, right? They're like hypnotized, you know, by what the powers that be have tried to program us to believe. But it's like the rabbit's actually coming down off of that. And they brought their friend with them this time. The cheetah can't mess with them. So yeah, there's all sorts of unlikely pairings coming up here. Not necessarily children's parents, perhaps their parents' friends or their other relatives or complete strangers taking on children. It's very interesting. And it's coming up, the next two cards are coming up as the stingray. This is as everyone starts awakening because their chakra systems are starting to turn on, like being plugged in. And then we have the bat coming in here, which is like referencing the mouse over here with wings, like the butterfly, because they came up together here, right? So there's that relationship, like the mouse wants to become like the butterfly and get their wings by awakening. Okay, so this is the children awakening too. Perhaps going to, not to their parents, but to going to other adults who are awakened or teaching, and them wanting to become awakened even if their parents don't agree with it. That's the energy I'm getting. And then we have the earthworm, who's kind of coveting their energy, keeping it to themselves, right? To keep their energy clear, because it's not so bad in the background here. And then we have the firefly too. And the firefly is literally transmuting energy everywhere they go. So these are the energies here of the rainbow lights, right? They're doing their job by either holding it or walking transmuters, basically. Okay? All right, let's see what else is coming up from the journey of love. I love that message. So it's like finding the truth between different countries, between different animals, between children and other parents. And again, people who you'd normally think as predators, like literally this elephant and the bunny may actually be able to get the cheetah. It's like a moth to the flame. They can't resist it. They could be actually drawn to the elephant and the bunny, who normally they would be the predator, but now they may be joining forces. That's the energy I'm getting here. All right, from the journey of love for the twin flames. Anything we need to know? Okay, dream a little again. This came up yesterday, the day before. 51 is the King of Swords. The King of Swords being called to bring out their feminine side, bring the power here to your heart, to your softness. And then we have let the feminine lead the way. And these are very similar energies, the two of them. Okay, so it's like arch, stretch. Let yourself go. Let your hair fly free. Dream a little. Be the you've always wanted to be. It's like here she's being shy, and here she's opening up to her true self. Let the feminine lead the way. And then we have the woman of light, the 49 of the Get Your Wish card. So we have 39 of let the feminine lead the way, which is the Knight of Cups, being love. And this is the genie in the bottle, the one who collects the light. Okay. So this could be also the different divine feminines out there working right now. Some could be keeping to themselves to keep their energy clear. Some could be out there being love to cheer everybody up. And then there's the light collectors who literally meditate or get out in the sun to collect the light for the divine masculines. And that could be a twin connection as well. All right, but the three different divine feminines, but literally letting the feminine lead the way again, keeping the feminine energy high, and the heart of God, which is 9 of the Hermit, now that we're in Virgo season, which is all about purification. Okay, keep it pure. Keep coming back to your heart, the heart of God, your God connection. And then the bottom of the deck is dropping into your heart again. So 68 is the Page of Pentacles, right? The one who's curious about their abilities and wanting to manifest something new. It's 222 on the clock, room 222, and your guidance. Maybe your Page of Pentacles child is going to be the guidance counselor that you need. Drop into your heart. Maybe they know just how to do what you need to do when you don't know. They need to be the teacher. And then we have the mother energy of the cosmic butterfly. So again, getting wings is big in this read. Getting your wings, right? Because we had a butterfly and the bat growing their wings. And here's the 36 of the Atlas energy and the mother. The mother's nurturing when there's no mother. Who's going to nurture the butterfly to come full term, right? Into their maturity. The cosmic butterfly, right? That everybody's a mother. 36 is the wounded is the Atlas energy, letting go of the wounded warrior, the victim mentality, by dropping into your heart to be the Page of Pentacles, which is all about being confident in your own abilities and using your abilities, the gifts that you've been given. Okay, so drop into your heart. Again, it's all about the feminine leading the way, getting into your light, and you're more in feminine now anyway because we're in Virgo. We're coming from Leo, which is more masculine, to the Virgo energy, very much into the heart. All right, so we're going to read Dream a Little and the Eagle. All right, Eagle, where are you? Okay, all-pervading power, truth seeker, and transforms karma. The noble eagle emanates the light of the sun. This great bird is both physically and spiritually strong, and represents mastery over the elements of fire and air. When the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your own transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. And when the eagle's in balance, they're bright, radiant, and challenge. When they're out of balance, they're controlling. So to bring back into balance, step into the unknown, right? Get past that hurdle. So that's the eagle that's coming up. Mastery over fire and air. And then Dream a Little is 51. Which says, this is a short one, the divine wants to bless you with inspiration, just as a lover would come to the door of the beloved with a spontaneous gift of flowers. So dream a little, let your imagination wander and wonder, what if? What else could be? Breaking down the rigid walls of expectation. Just because something has been does not indicate that it must continue in the same way. So dream a little and receive your spiritual gift. This oracle brings you guidance. A spiritual gift of inspiration is on its way or has just recently been received. It isn't flight of fancy, it's a gift from the divine. Receive it and believe in new possibilities. From unexpected meetings, we talked and shared our lifetime, a gentle, peaceful, quiet time, reflected in our smile. We winged our way to distant places and walked among remembered faces. So here's faces coming up again. Of lives we knew we lived some time before. And like a bud about to flower, having reached its appointed hour, we watch ourselves begin to open in the warm touch of spring. Okay, so dream a little. Remember that we had a late spring this year, right? Because the bear didn't want to awaken up until July. So we're literally in springtime, going into the fall. So make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, and get your nature. Make sure to take your deep breaths. And rise and be loved, guys. See you soon. Bye.